A fantasy draft is the great equalizer in Madden 23 franchise. So today we're going to be taking a team that just released one of their best players and seeing if we can fix this franchise that seems to be slowly entering rebuild mode. But massive thank you for 4,500 subscribers. Every single one of these I do, we seem to hit some big milestone. So if you want to be an OG while you still can be one, the time is running out. Be sure to subscribe. Let's see if we can get to 5,000 subscribers. And if we can hit that, I'll cook up another one of these fantasy draft rebuilds because y'all have been enjoying them so much lately. And once again, we absolutely destroyed the like goal on the last video. So I'm going to set a crazy one. Let's see if we can get to 700 likes. And if you listening right now do it, we will easily destroy that. Plus, if you like it, helps me know that y'all are still enjoying these. And it, of course, helps push it to more people. So I would very, very much appreciate you taking the 3 seconds to do it. And of course, if you like Madden rebuilds, you've come to the right place because that's literally all I do. So you might as well subscribe, you know what I mean? And very last thing, let me know what team to do next down below. Or a team to do a regular rebuild of, whichever you want to do. But I tried 2 different draft strategies in the last 2 rebuilds. I'm gonna try another different strategy this time, heading into the fantasy draft. You'll see what that is in just a second. But with that, let's get into the fantasy draft. I think I'll show the first 8-ish picks, and then I'll just pick the rest off camera. So get a drink, get a snack, get whatever, get ready, because we're gonna try to save the Vikings franchise. Okay, well, I feel like we've had pretty good luck with where our picks have been in these fantasy drafts. We have the number 7 overall pick here, and that definitely gives us a lot of options for players to take. But we're actually going to keep a Minnesota Viking with the first pick. We're gonna go Justin Jefferson. If I could pick any receiver in the NFL, it would be him. One of, if not the best NFL receiver. And he's only 23 here, maybe 24 in real life. So the Vikings' current best player does stay in Minnesota. With our second round pick, we're gonna go with a division rival, actually, in Rashawn Gary. Is still young here, superstar dev, plays pretty well in this game, and pass rush is very important. Actually, wait, I might have just lied to you. We're actually gonna take Bryce Young here. I know he only has normal dev, but when you're creating players in Madden rosters, you for some reason can't give them a dev trait, but I'll just give it to him once we get out of this fantasy draft. Was my number 1 quarterback in this draft class. I liked him more than CJ Stroud, more than Anthony Richardson, more than whoever. He was my favorite. So after 2 months on the Panthers, he's gonna be switching teams and joining the Vikings. But now we are gonna stick with the same position we were originally gonna take here, and we're gonna go with Brian Burns. Not quite as good as Rashawn Gary in this game, but still a very good player, same age, same dev trait. Let's take him. And let's shore up that offensive line with one of the best guards in the NFL in Chris Lindstrom. Not a flashy pick, but a very important one. Let's take him. And DeMarcus Lawrence is pretty much the best player still available here. I try to stay away from players that I have taken before, so there are some good ones left. But DeMarcus Lawrence is the second best player here. Is 30, but still should be good by the end of this rebuild, and will be good for at least the first 2 years, so we don't have to worry about regression too much. Let's take him. And now between him and Brian Burns, that's an elite duo. In the 7th round, I think we're going to take one of the more underrated defensive players in the NFL, and that's going to be Marcus Williams. We don't really have anybody in the secondary yet, so hopefully we didn't overlook it too much. We'll see how that plays out. And let's take Marcus Williams. Second to last pick I'm going to make here, we are going to repeat a player. We have taken Joe Mixon before, but he just falls way farther than he should. Almost a no-brainer pick here. Running back is very important in this game, and he's a really good one, so he's going to be the pick here. And then with the last pick that I'm going to show, let's create an amazing 1-2 punch at receiver, and let's take Odell Beckham Jr. The duo of him, if healthy in real life, of Justin Jefferson and Odell Beckham Jr. would be amazing. I love the big gray box around Jamison Williams in the background. That's great. Thank you, EA. Very cool. But let's take Odell. All right, well, here's a look at the team after the draft, and to be 100% honest with you, this might be the lowest overall team I've ever drafted, but the good part about it is this is a team that is built for the future, which I like to do normally in fantasy drafts anyways. We do have a mix of players that we're probably eventually going to have to replace with Charles Leno, Ben Jones, Foster Moreau maybe, but I mean our quarterback is literally Bryce Young. I gave him superstar dev, that's what he has in my normal custom rosters whenever I do like a rebuild. I give him superstar dev, so he could end up being a very good player. The O-line is solid. I drafted Peter Skoronski, so hopefully he can play pretty well. Wan'Dale Robinson is going to be our number 3 receiver. The offense as a whole is looking pretty good. And then on defense, it's also a mix of good old players and young players with the potential to develop. Now, I was saying I try to stay away from players that I've drafted before, but I mean, Charvarius Ward and DJ Reed were too good of value to pass up. Now, neither of them have dev traits, but they're already good overalls, so it doesn't really matter. We drafted Christian Gonzalez, Kyle Hamilton, good linebackers. The defensive line will definitely need some work, but we have good players there right now, so for this year it should be fine. So I'm a little surprised this team is only an 82. It does look definitely very good. I could have taken some better players for sure, but you know, trying to not be repetitive here and get the same players in every fantasy draft. So considering all that, I think we did pretty well for ourselves, but let's get into the actual rebuild of this team and let's see how this team can do. So I'll see y'all at the mid-season point of year number 1. Oh shit, okay. At the mid-season point of year 1, we're 5-1. Like I was just saying, I thought this would be more of a future team, not a right now team, but we're doing really, really well, apparently. Good amount of upgrades here too. 2 for Bryce Young, we'll definitely take that. Let's see, we are 1st in offensive points per game, 14th in defensive, but our yards on defense are really good. We're not allowing many rushing yards per game, so we'll definitely take that. But let's see who we have to re-sign here. The re-signings are really weird in fantasy drafts. I don't really understand them, because like it would really only sign Brian Burns, like one of our higher draft picks, to a 1-year deal. I don't understand how it does it, but we'll offer him 5 years, 79 mil, and he takes it. Marcus Williams, we'll see if he takes this. It seems harder to get players to agree to like neutral deals, even if they're really interested. I don't know why, but we'll offer him 5 years, 67.5 mil, and he does take it. Okay, cool. Juwan Bentley, I want back, but he's not interested at all. And then it's a lot of depth players here, so we can maybe worry about them at the end of the year. Jake Elliott, do you want to re-sign? 3 years, 12.9 mil. He does. Logan Cook, 4 years at 11.2. He re-signs too. Okay, so we got back every starter here except for Juwan Bentley. If he becomes more interested at the end of the year, then that's cool, but if not, I don't think it would be too hard to find another linebacker. But with that, let's get to the end of the year and let's see how this team can finish. Alright, well, if you've seen one of my videos before, you know why we're here. If you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe before I reveal how we did this season. Helps out a ton. We are so incredibly close to 5K as of the time of recording this. Plus, it'll make you an OG of the channel. And I think I set the like goal to like 700, I can't remember, so I would very much appreciate if you took the like 5 seconds. It helps push these videos to more people. And a lot of people tell me I'm underrated, so help me be not underrated, I guess. But this is how the team developed. We have Bryce Young playing up to an 86 with morale, Justin Jefferson up to a 99. The whole team in general is looking very good. Here's a look at the defense. A lot of development here, but in year number 1, we finished 12-5, pretty easily making the playoffs. Now, like I was saying, this isn't the best team we've ever built, but it is definitely good, and if it's doing well now, we'll see what happens in the future. This could be a really good team, or it'll develop into a really good team, and we'll go like 8-9 every year, which is what normally happens in Madden rebuilds. I hate this game. But we'll be taking on the Panthers in the wild card here, but super quick, let's check out the season stats. Bryce Young was a monster, 4,800 yards, 41 touchdowns. 15 picks is a little high, but we'll take that. Joe Mixon was really good. Justin Jefferson with 1,700 yards, 12 touchdowns. Odell with 1,200 yards and 11 touchdowns. The offensive line was overall really good. Peter Skoronski wasn't great, but other than that, it was good. Jerome Baker with 132 tackles, good amount of tackles for loss. Not many sacks, though. I thought that would be like the strong suit of our team. Lawrence and Burns only had 7 each. 5 for Autry, and that's about it. And then interceptions, 4 for Baker, 3 for Williams and Ward, 2 for Reed and Gonzalez, 1 for Hamilton. Oh my god. I hate this game. Jared Goff wins MVP on the 4-13 Bills. This game, you know the whole stupid ass meme of like the blank or draw 25 and then it's the picture of the dude with like a million cards in his hands? For Madden, it's like be realistic or draw 25. They have like fucking 5 million cards. They're never realistic. I hate this game. I don't want to be here anymore. What is this overall list? Will Levis is a rookie. Derek Carr. CJ Stroud is a rookie. Dak Prescott? What the fuck Fuck, dude. What team are we? We're the Vikings. Offensive player of the year goes to a rookie in Bijan Robinson. I mean, that's possible. Justin Jefferson at number 3. The Buccaneers. Goddamn. Dalvin Cook, Mike Williams, and Dak up there. Defensive player of the year goes to Myles Garrett. No Vikings up there. Offensive rookie of the year does go to Bijan. I feel like the Panthers always get him. I don't know why. They're just bricked up for him or something. I don't know. But Bryce Young at number 3, even though he was like on the MVP list, somehow only 3rd because apparently these two were even more ridiculous. Defensive rookie of the year goes to Will Anderson. Gonzalez at number 7. So at least we have somebody up there. But we're not going to jump into the playoff games yet. We do have a first of many scenario. It's only year 1. We'll do it for years 2 and 3. Let's go play it cool though. I guess we could go guarantee win. I mean, it'll only affect us for this year anyways. But we'll play it cool. But let's see if we can take down the Carolina Panthers, who are usually pretty broken in this game. And of course not. We lose. It was a close game, but 34-32 is the final score. A really weird final score. How do you even get 32 points? I don't know, but either way, Bryce Young got an upgrade, and he is now up to a pure 85 overall, 88 with morale. Amazing rookie year from him. And let's get into the offseason. In the Super Bowl, the Cardinals take down the Patriots 31-28, and we have an upgrade for Justin Jefferson, and that's going to bring him to a pure 99 overall. +1 speed, goddamn. As a Seahawks fan, that Super Bowl is very scarring because the Cardinals Stadium is where the Seahawks lost to the Patriots because Pete Carroll thought it was a good idea to pass on the 1-yard line. I hate life. As a Seahawks fan, it's been a lot of pain. I guess it could be worse, but the Seahawks have expectations and usually something goes wrong. Anyways, back to the rebuild for re-signings here. Who are we gonna have? So still just the same players, no like random players popped up like what happens sometimes. Ah yes, the elite Mike Rose. We might have to re-sign him. I guess we'll try to re-sign Juwan Bentley. He's not that much money. Even very player friendly would only be 6 years, which is very long, but it's only 61.8 mil total, little over 10 per year. So let's see if he re-signs. He doesn't. What would the tag be for a middle line? Ooh, we're not paying him 16.6. So, I mean, it's not the end of the world. He's only normal dev anyways. He's already 27, so he isn't going to develop much regardless. So we can find a replacement there. I'll actually re-sign some depth players, but I'll see y'all in a free agency. All right, so in free agency, there isn't too much going on. I mean, Wyatt Teller, we don't really need a guard. At corner, we're definitely good there. Safety, we're good. Juwan Bentley's there, obviously. So there isn't much that really does anything for us, but I am going to go for a couple players. We're going to go for Ed Oliver. We are tied for the lead for him. There are 3 other teams very interested in him in the Patriots, Browns, and Chiefs, but we'll see if we can get him. Isn't too expensive, only like a little over 10 per year. So if we get him, it won't be too bad of a deal. And then Quay Walker is going to be the other player we're going for. Obviously, no more Juwan Bentley. Quay Walker's only 23, star dev, obviously. So if we don't draft anybody better, then he could start for us and maybe turn into a good player. We'll see. Plus, he's really cheap, only like less 2.36 mil per year, apparently. So we'll take that. But let's see if either of these players sign. It looks like both of them sign, and we get Quay Walker. Okay, no Ed Oliver, but I mean, that's fine. That'll just give us more money to work with next year. So I think we're good. And with that, let's get into let's get to the draft. So here in the draft, the Jags have the number 1 overall pick. What the hell did they do? What did they do in the fantasy draft? I mean, I guess teams have probably changed a little bit through an offseason. So they have the Cowboys and the Eagles. That's a conflicting top 4. 2 Cowboys, 2 Eagles. Maybe that's why this team ended up being terrible. They didn't want to play with each other. I don't know. Pause. That was poor phrasing. They have Trey Lance. They still have Travis Etienne, Jacoby Myers. This team isn't that bad. Well, they definitely have some problems. They don't really have a secondary either. Okay, I see why that team ended up with the number 1 overall pick. That's not a great team, but we have the number 24 overall pick here. Now let's see what we want to do here. I'm definitely thinking about a D lineman or a linebacker, but none of the linebackers really look good. The other option is a tight end. Ooh, straight up first round grade on Ricky Heller. Ooh, James Knox also looks crazy. This looks like a good tight end class. I'm thinking about maybe trading up. Well, I don't know if we need to because James Knox, like I said, also looks really good. We might just wait for him if Heller does go. So with our first pick, I do think we're going to take a D lineman. I'm split between 2 players. Ooh, Rick Stecker might be the better one. Plus, he actually has decent pass rush. He has B power moves, so I think he might be the pick. He's 6'5", 291, 21 years old, out of Kansas State. Solid speed for a big guy, good strength, elite strength, and overall well-rounded ratings, good run defender, and good good power moves. It's probably not going to be anything crazy. It'll probably be like a 76, somewhere around there, 75. But let's take him. Normal dev, unfortunately. But good strength, solid speed, really good excel. We'll see. He could still be a good player. It's more about overalls with those players, because most of them do end up having normal dev anyways. The 3-4 defensive ends. Okay, so Heller is gone. But James... Oop, I clicked the wrong player. You know what? That guy does look pretty good too. Maybe we go with him. But James Knox is still here. Those are some really good stats. Not the best blocker, it looks like, but A, catch in traffic, catching, run block, so maybe he is a good blocker. A, awareness. Fastest tight end still left. 4.57 at his at the combine, and a 4.5 flat at his pro day. I think he'll be the pick. He's 6'6", 259, 23 years old, out of Florida. Let's take him. And he has hidden dev. 85 speed, 78 strength, 87 excel, good agility for a tight end. I don't know if he's quite as good as the other tight end that was available, but he does look pretty good. And in the third round, there are definitely some interesting players available. Oh, 18 bench reps for a defensive end. No thank you. All right, well, with the last pick I'm going to take, let's go with the Walmart brand DeAndre Hopkins in DeAndre Tompkins, a massive defensive tackle out of UCF. He's 6'4", 354, 23 years old. Not that slow for someone that big. I mean, it's but 45 bench reps at the combine, 43 at his pro day. Overall, good ratings. I'm just more interested in the strength. Is a low injury player, so that could be a good sign. A tackle, A play rec. I wish his block shed and awareness were a little higher, but A to C pursuit too. So definitely trying to beef up the D-line in this draft. Let's take him. Normal dev, unfortunately, but 98 strength. Again, like the last guy, no dev trait, but could still be a good overall. We'll see. Okay, so being 100% honest, the player overalls here aren't as good as I thought they would be, but we had an overall decent draft. Rick Stecker is a 73 overall. A little lower power moves than I expected by like 1, so close enough. Good speed, good strength, like y'all saw. He's a fine player, is only 21, so definitely has room to grow. James Knox, I've never seen a football player that looks like him unless they're like about to retire, so I don't know what the hell Madden is smoking. He's only 23 here, but yeah, overall definitely a good looking player. I guess he'll start for us this year. I mean, we can try to develop him for sure. And then DeAndre Tompkins is a 73 overall, very big dude, no homo. Yeah, not the worst speed in the world considering how massive he is. Good excel too, so we'll definitely take that. And then I don't know what the hell the CPU did. A 66 overall tackle and another defensive tackle. Literally over half of our draft was defensive linemen. Maybe a bit overkill, but it is what it is. All right, well, here's a look at the team heading into year number 2 of the rebuild. No changes here on offense, really. We did obviously add Knox through the draft. Bryce Young got Superstar X Factor, which seems a little crazy, but we'll definitely take it. So overall, the offense is looking pretty solid. Still a lot of room to grow. Same thing here on defense. No major changes. No more Juwan Bentley. We added Quay Walker, though. We added Stecker on the defensive line, obviously, but everything else is the same. Just waiting on some of our younger players to develop, and that should happen throughout the year. So with that, let's get to the mid-season point of year 2, and hopefully we can do pretty well once again. Okay, so at the mid-season point of year 2, we are only 3-4. This is kind of the like down year though, a lot of the time in rebuilds. So, well, it's either year 2 or 3 or both. So we'll see what happens. We're not doing amazing here though, but to be fair, the rest of the division isn't doing amazing either. Nobody has a winning record, but we're gonna have some re-signings here to make. We have 111 mil to work with. It looks like Charvarius Ward got star dev. I didn't even notice that, but we're gonna have to pay Bryce Young and he's not interested. I mean, worst case scenario, we can probably just tag him, but there are a good amount of players here, to be fair. A good amount of important starters. We'll start with Charvarius Ward, though. We can probably do 4 years, because I'm guessing he's going to want more years, but I don't know. We'll try 4 years, 58.8 mil. He takes it, so that definitely works out pretty well. Bryce Young, we might have to do something like this. 7 years, 335 mil. Do I want to have to pay him that much? Not necessarily, but we might have to, and he might not even take that, to be fair. But we'll try it. Let's see if he does. And he does. Okay, cool. That's a shit ton of money, but it's what we got to do. DJ Reed is good, but if he's not interested, I would rather worry about other players first. Christian Gonzalez, still only 21 years old. We'll offer him probably very player friendly. Isn't even that much money. We'll try 7 years, 59.5 mil, and he takes it. Danico Autry's still good, but he's old. If we do re-sign him, we'll wait until the end of the year. Peter Skoronsky, how's he doing this year? Because last year he wasn't great. Only only 2 sacks allowed. I know as soon as I resign him, he's gonna suck again. Oh, he can't anyways until week 9, so we'll worry about him at the end of the year. I guess we can offer DJ Reed something. We're not gonna go full very player friendly because I want to have some money left, but 4 years, 55.2 mil. Okay, he doesn't take it, so if we get him back, we get him back. If not, it's fine. So with that, let's jump to the end of the year and let's see how this team can finish. All right, well, y'all once again know why we're here. This rebuild's going pretty well so far, but if you haven't already, be sure to like, be sure to subscribe. I mean, if you've made it here, I'm sure you have already, but if you for some reason haven't, clearly you're enjoying it, so it helps out a ton. Trying to grow the channel. Preemptive thank you for 5K. The channel's literally like doubled in subscribers over the last like month, so thank you all so much for that. It's been crazy lately, when right now rebuilds aren't really supposed to do well anyways, so I appreciate it very much. And of course, let me know down below what team I should either fantasy draft rebuild or regular rebuild next. But this is how the team's looking at the end of year number 2. Knox unfortunately only has star dev. I was kind of expecting him to have superstar or something, because it seems like a lot of tight ends do have really good dev traits, but either way, we'll take star. I mean, better than normal. And then on defense, I guess we didn't really have any hidden devs here. I mean, we have Stecker, but he's a backup. Wait, I didn't even realize both of the defensive linemen we took were named Stecker. This guy probably only has normal or star anyways though, right? Because he hasn't developed a crazy amount throughout the year. Yeah, only star dev, but could turn into a decent backup. We'll see. But in year number 2, we finished just 8-9, but we did make the playoffs, winning the division. Nobody in our division had a winning record, obviously, so not the best year for us, but somehow still in the playoffs. Let's check out the season stats. Let's see what went wrong. It was definitely not Bryce Young. 43 touchdowns, almost 5,000 yards, lowered the interception numbers too, so we'll take that. Joe Mixon was really good. Justin Jefferson, 1,600 yards, 20 touchdowns. Odell over 1,000 yards. Wandale even with almost 1,000 yards. Blocking was really good overall. No complaints there. Charles Leno's been a stud, low key. Jerome Baker led the team in tackles with 116 tackles for loss, 15 for Lawrence, good amount for the rest of the players. In sacks, 12.5 from Lawrence, only 6.5 from Autry, 6 from Stecker as a rookie. He was pretty good. Only 5.5 from Brian Burns though. He's been really disappointing so far. At least Lawrence, you know, was good this year. Wasn't great last year, but was good this year. But yeah, Brian Burns hasn't really done much. We'll see what happens next year. And then interceptions, 4 for DJ Reed, 3 for Baker, Walker, and Ward, 2 for Hamilton and Wilson. I don't know how we only finished 8-9. Those were pretty good stats. There was nothing I could really point to and say, oh, that wasn't good. But let's check out some of the yearly awards. Kyler Murray on the Bears wins MVP. Aaron Rodgers on the Chiefs at number 2. Bryce Young at number 3. We'll take that. There's some weird stuff going on here, dude. Offensive Player of the Year does go to Justin Jefferson. Less yards this year, but more touchdowns apparently. That won it for him, so we'll definitely take that. No other Vikings up here. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Will Anderson. Didn't he win it last year? Or no, he won Defensive Rookie. I can't remember who won Defensive Player. But any Vikings up here, we have DeMarcus Lawrence at number 8, so at least we get somebody up there. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Sam Byron of the Falcons. James Knox at number 6. And then Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Bryce Bass of the 49ers. That's an elite name. Rick Stecker at number 4. I'm surprised he wasn't higher. He was really good, but apparently they were just better ones. So yeah, not the best year ever, but we do make the playoffs at the very least. I guess we can jump in. We're going to be taking on the Panthers once again though, so no promises that we win this, because like I said, they're pretty busted in this game for some reason. But we'll go play it cool once again. So with that, let's jump in against the Panthers and let's see if we can get a win. Alright, well here we go in the wild card against the Panthers. I don't necessarily have a good feeling about this game, but we'll simulate it out and let's see what happens. The Panthers do go up early 3-0. In the second quarter, we still haven't scored. They get another field goal and they get a touchdown. They're up 13-3 now. We do finally score, but they get another field goal. They're up 16-3. We do get a touchdown, but so do they. We get a touchdown to bring it within 5. They're up 22-17, but they do score in the fourth quarter. So do we though, but we were within 5, but they got the ball in the fourth quarter and just ran the clock out. Unfortunate, but we expected it. It's only year 2 anyways. Next year is going to be our big run. So in the Super Bowl, the Chiefs take down the Cardinals, who are once again in the Super Bowl, 38-31. Who's the Cardinals QB? I feel like, oh, I think it's CJ Stroud. Is that right? Hold on, let me see. Yeah, it's CJ Stroud. They kind of went with the strategy I usually go with, which is get a really good pass rusher, get a really good running back, and get a younger QB later on. Now, usually I wait even longer sure to get a QB. I'll get like Sam Howell or something in like the 15th round, but that strategy is apparently working pretty well for him because they've been in 2 Super Bowls in 2 years. But re-signings here, I definitely want Peter Skoronski back. The question is, can we get him back? We'll offer him very player friendly, 4 years, 32.8 mil. We can even up it a little bit, 4 years, 34.4, and he does take it. Okay, cool. Now DJ Reed, we don't really need to bring him back. Danico Autry's been pretty solid. We could upgrade at defensive end though. He's been like our one defensive lineman that's been getting pass rush though. Well, I guess the rookie did too, but he's been pretty good. We'll see. If he's the best defensive lineman in free agency, then we'll just re-sign him, but if there's an upgrade, then we'll upgrade. So we'll let everybody here go, and let's see who's available in free agency. Ooh. Well, we don't need running back literally at all, but that would be kind of fun. I would go for him if he was interested, but he's not, so honestly, there isn't a whole ton here that would really help us. We could maybe go for a receiver because, I mean, Wan'Dale Robinson has been fine, but he's only a 78 overall. Odell is regressing, so receiver could be in play for sure. Could go for a linebacker to upgrade over Quay Walker. It looks like DeMarcus Lawrence got superstar dev, which is cool. And yeah, we definitely need a corner and a defensive lineman, so there isn't much in free agency, unfortunately, but we might be able to do something. We just have a lot of money, and there just isn't anything obvious to spend it on, though. That's the problem. Alright, I guess these are going to be the players we're going to go for. Some of them aren't like necessary signings, but I mean, if we have the money, we're going into the final year anyways, we might as well try to spend it. It's going to be Michael Pierce as the first one. We do have the lead for him. Well, we're tied for it with the Patriots. We'll see what happens there. I mean, the Patriots are a good team too, so maybe he'll want to go there, but we'll see what happens. Bring him back to Minnesota after a couple years. Mike Evans, we're also going for. Our division rival in the Bears are also interested, but I think we've been better than them, so maybe he'll want to sign with us. I don't even know if whatever team has been doing better really has much of an effect. I know it does, but I don't know. I try to figure out what makes players sign with other teams. I can't figure it out. It just seems kind of random. We're also going to go for Tariq Woolen. I rarely get him in rebuilds. There's rarely an opportunity for me to get him in rebuilds, to be fair. Does have star dev here, though. Not the best overall, but should be a good second corner for sure. We're also going for Devin Bush, just a little upgrade over Quay Walker, and then Danico Autry, we'll try to re-sign him. But let's see if any of these players do sign with us. So most of them sign, but Tariq Woolen doesn't sign, and I don't know if we're going to be able to get him. The Cowboys are really interested, but we do get Michael Pierce, we get Mike Evans, we get Devin Bush, and we get Danico Autry. That's pretty massive. Now the Seahawks do get James Bradbury. That's the other player I was thinking about, and DJ Reed does sign with the Raiders. So Noah Igbinogheni's here. He's only 24, still has star dev, was a first round pick at one point, which was a weird first round pick, but he is really athletic. The 49ers are really interested, so maybe we won't get him. All right, well, we're having to pay a lot of money for Tariq Woolen, but we do tie ourselves for the lead with the Cowboys for him. I could also go Isaiah Rodgers. That would be kind of funny after the whole gambling thing, but I mean, Isaiah Rodgers is just kind of the backup plan just in case we don't get Tariq Woolen. But let's see if either of these players sign. So Tariq Woolen signs, and he does sign with us. That's huge. So big upgrades to the team pretty much everywhere, mostly to the defense. And now this defense is looking pretty nice. And now with Mike Evans plugged in here on offense, our offense is looking really good too. This really doesn't leave me many options for the draft. I mean, I don't know what we're going to upgrade in the draft at all. We have so many D linemen, maybe like a good rotational pass rusher. That might be the move. Or maybe a good corner, maybe another good tight end. Our line's played really well, and we do have good depth there, especially considering Jamari Sawyer can play both tackle and guard. I mean, this could be a situation where we trade our first round pick away. We'll see. But with that, let's get to the draft and let's figure out what we want to do. So here in the draft, the Texans have the #1 overall pick. I actually haven't seen, what did they do? I don't know if I've seen any of their players for like awards. Who's their Oh, I see why. Their quarterback is Carson Wentz. Yeah, I don't know if the Texans would be the best landing spot for him. They do have Cooper Kupp though, Minka Fitzpatrick, Kyle Pitts. I mean, they do have some good players. It's just no QB. I'm guessing they have a lot of holes. Yeah, I mean, that's not the greatest team ever. It's not the worst, but there are definitely a lot of better teams here. But with our pick, let's simulate to the 19th overall pick, and let's see what we can do here. So I obviously said I wanted a third edge, a third pass rusher, and I want a power guy because we have 2 speed guys. Tyquan Taquan Bigsby's confusing because looking at his ratings, I would guess he's just a really fast 3-4 defensive end, but he's only 265 pounds, so he would work. He would just be a really strong, not that fast edge, but does look like a pretty good player. I wish his pursuit was a little better if we're going to be moving him to linebacker, but I like the A power moves, A tackle, not the best block shedding. Does he look like the best player ever? No, but is athletic, could be a good player. Let's go Taquan Bigsby, 6'3", 265, 22 years old, out of Oregon. Let's take him. And he does have hidden dev, 78 speed, 85 excel, 90 strength. He's probably not going to be the best overall at outside linebacker, but could be a good player. We'll see. And in the second round, we might just go like best player available, whoever that might be. I was saying I do want a depth safety, and this guy looks pretty good. Percy Wooten. There's some good looking safeties in general. Ooh, this guy could be good too. And you never know, this top guy could have fallen for a reason. Maybe he's not that good. I mean, he's not fast, and he doesn't have very good coverage, but he's just a box safety anyways. Either him or we go with like a tight end or something. And none of the tight ends look that good. Ooh, yo. Round 3, we might go with this guy though, but we already have so many off-ball line. Holy shit, this guy looks crazy. I mean, we have a ton of linebackers. Ooh, and he's out of Washington State. Yeah, if he's available round 3, we're going with him. I don't care that we don't need linebacker. But let's go Percy Wooten here. 6 foot, 205, 22 years old, out of Florida. Not the best looking player, but I mean, pretty good, especially in run defense. So let's take him. Normal dev, unfortunately, but that's kind of what I expected. We'll see if he's a good overall. I just realized we might be going 3 linebackers in the first 3 rounds, essentially, because we went with a defensive end that we're going to move to outside linebacker, which is still linebacker. We went with that safety that was basically a box safety, which is pretty much linebacker. And then here, I think we're going to go Johnny Fitzgerald, just a pure straight up linebacker. He's 6'1", 235, 21 years old, out of Washington State. Really good speed. First for vertical jump, 3-cone, and 20-yard shuttle. Good overall ratings. Let's take him. And normal dev. I knew it. But really good speed. Could still be a really good player. We'll see. Okay, well, this definitely wasn't my best draft rebuild ever, but it wasn't terrible. This year, I think we did a little better than last year, but Taquan Bigsby is only a 72 overall at outside linebacker. Now, he is a 75 if we have him at defensive end, but that doesn't really make much sense at only 265 pounds in a 3-4, so, well, I could just keep him down there and just play him as an edge. I guess that would work. Maybe we'll keep him at outside linebacker. It works. Percy Wooten is a 73 overall, so not a good dev trade, obviously, but is a pretty good player. Not quick, but better zone than I expected. Good run defense stats, obviously. Pretty decent player. Johnny Fitzgerald isn't as good as I thought he would be. He is a 71 overall, no dev trait. I thought he would be more like 73 or 4 with like star dev or something. His coverage just isn't as good as I thought it would be, but it is what it is. Still a decent enough player, just depth anyways. And then Travis Mullins is I took every pick in this draft. Travis Mullins, this center, is a good player, will be good depth, so that was a pretty good pick. But overall, I like what we did in the draft. Just kind of filled out depth, which is really all we could have done. I mean, was there like a starter that we could have gotten from this draft? Corey Means, maybe, but he went before us anyways. No, I don't think so. I mean, this tight end, maybe, but we already have a good tight end anyways. Same overall, depending on what his dev trait is. Okay, it's only stars, so it wouldn't have really been an upgrade. He's the same age. So yeah, I think we did pretty well for ourselves, but let's get into the third and final year, and let's take a look at the team. Alright, well, here's a look at the team heading into the third and final year of the rebuild. I hope y'all have enjoyed so far in this one. This has been a pretty fun one. I mean, it's a lot of the players we started with in general. It's definitely not the greatest team ever in terms of overall, but it's still definitely a pretty good one. For the next one of these, I'm just gonna go like whatever player I want to, whether I've taken them before or not, because I'm kind of running out of players to take anyways. I just don't want these to get too repetitive, but there's only so much I can do. But the team is looking pretty good. Joe Mixon went up to Superstar Dev, which is pretty cool. We obviously added Mike Evans. No other changes here really on offense, but a lot of players have developed. Bryce Young could potentially hit Superstar, or hit a 90 overall this year. We'll see. At least from morale, he probably will. And then on defense, we obviously added Devin Bush, Tariq Woolen, Michael Pierce. We're hoping Brian Burns can do well this year. He hasn't developed a whole ton here. He hasn't really done much at all, to be fair, but hopefully he can. We'll see. Here are the specialists for those that actually care about these. But But with that, there isn't really much else for us to do here. So let's get to the end of year number 3 and let's see how this team can do. All right, well, once again, y'all know why we're here. I guess I'll just plug again. I feel bad plugging so much, but like and subscribe if you haven't already and you've made it all the way here. It helps out a ton. Trying to grow the channel. If you want to be an OG, be sure to subscribe. But again, big thank you for all the support and everything lately, generic YouTube person term. But I really do appreciate it a ton. This is like my dream job, and to be able to actually do it like full time would be really cool. And plus, I just really enjoy football in general. I don't necessarily enjoy this game all the time, but I like football. But here's a look at the offense after year number 3. Again, not the best team we've ever built, only an 86 overall. It feels better than that though for some reason to me, but if that's what Madden thinks, then fair enough. And then here's a look at the defense. Bigsby only has star dev, which I'm surprised he even got 500 snaps. I don't know how he did as like a backup, but fair enough. But in year number 3, we finished only 9-8, barely making the playoffs. Now let me check the stats. So we were 4th in offensive points per game, but our defense was terrible, especially our pass defense. You know, it really couldn't get much worse. We're gonna switch the defensive playbook. What's a better one? Because apparently, don't go with the Vikings, I guess. The Cardinals. The Cardinals have been really good. I almost wonder if that's just because they have Myles Garrett, because I mean 78 sacks? Is that a record? Wait, how the hell did they get 78? Who else do they have? Oh my god. Myles Garrett with 30 sacks. That's great. 15 for Khalil Mack and 13 for Jonathan Allen. Oh my god. Well, let's check out some of our season stats. We will switch the defensive playbook in just a second though. 5,200 yards, 42 touchdowns for Bryce Young. He was very good. 69% completion percentage. Nice. Joe Mixon, another very good season from him. 1,200 yards, 13 touchdowns. Receiving, we had 3 1,000-yard receivers. Justin Jefferson with 1,500. Mike Evans with almost 1,500. Odell with 1,100 yards. Blocking, the tackles weren't very good, honestly. Lindstrom honestly wasn't even that good. Nobody on the line was great this year. On defense, Jerome Baker led the team with 121 tackles. Tackles for loss, 21 from Michael Pierce, 12 from Burns. And then sacks, really nothing. Yeah, we're definitely going to switch to the defensive playbook. 9.5 from Lawrence is good. Not amazing, though. I mean, Myles Garrett literally just had 30, over triple Lawrence's amount. That's why I like to go with Myles Garrett a lot in rebuilds, or the fantasy draft ones at least. Stecker with 6 sacks. Brian Burns with only 5.5. He's been so disappointing. And then interceptions, 4 for Hamilton, 3 for Bush and Ward, 2 for Baker, and then 1 for a few players, including DeMarcus Lawrence. Okay, fair enough, Madden. Yearly awards, MVP does go to Bryce Young. I didn't know if he was quite good enough to win it. I didn't even really think of that, but he does win MVP here, so we will definitely take it. No other Vikings up there. Offensive Player of the Year goes to David Montgomery on the Panthers. Oh yeah, I guess they did just lose, why can I not think of his name? Bijan Robinson, there we go. They lost to Bijan Robinson, so apparently David Montgomery, they didn't really miss a step there. They win Offensive Player of the Year with their running back once again. Justin Jefferson at number 2, Mike Evans at number 3, Bryce Young at number 6. So our offense was definitely really good. On defense, Myles Garrett wins Defensive Player of the Year. Any Vikings? No. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Alani Cleveland of the Saints. No Vikings. And Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Lamar Boyd of the Communists. No Vikings. So we are definitely going to switch the defensive playbook. Should we try out the Cardinals, or were they only good because they had good players? Well, to be fair, we have good players too. I mean, DeMarcus Lawrence, Brian Burns, that's a crazy combination. I mean, it's not like Khalil Mack, Myles Garrett good, but it's still good. So yeah, we'll try out Arizona's defense. Our offense is very good, so I don't think we're going to mess with that. But we're going to be taking on the 12-5 Seahawks here. That's where Bijan went. Okay, 1,500 yards for him, good amount. I'm surprised he wasn't up there for Offensive Player of the Year, to be honest. At least I didn't see him. Maybe I'm just blind. But we have a weak link scenario. You find yourself in the playoffs despite fielding a defensive unit near the bottom of the league in the rankings. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time reading, but let's go. I guess slow down the pass was our problem, so maybe we don't want to bank on that happening. It looked like we created a ton of turnovers, so let's go with that. I don't think we're stopping Bijan, so we're not going to go stop the run. 2+ turnovers, that's doable. We'll see what happens. And then first of many, we'll just get through this quick. We'll go play it cool. I wish I changed the defensive playbook sooner, but I guess better late than never. We'll see if it has an effect here. I don't know, but let's jump in against Seattle and let's see if we can get a win. Damn, that's a crazy top 3 for both teams. games. All right, well, here we go in the wild card against Seattle. I have no idea who those two players it showed were. Maybe Bijan, and I don't know who 94 was. But let's simulate this game out. Hopefully our defense can hold up decently well, and let's see what we can do. The Seahawks score effortlessly, but so do we. It's tied 7-7 in the second quarter, and now the defenses are showing up for both teams. It looked like we drove downfield, but we didn't score, and we do drive in and get a touchdown. We're up 14-7 in the third quarter. Now the fourth, we get a field goal. We're up 17-7, now 20-7. Okay, this defensive change was definitely good. The Seahawks do score towards the end, bringing it within 6, but we do win 20-14 as my game is freezing. Oh, there we go. So definitely a good win there as we take down Lamar Jackson and the Seahawks, and we'll move on to the divisional. But we have a recap for the weak link and first of many. We'll see if we hit those goals. I would bet we did. Our defense looked like it was pretty good. You got the win today, but we couldn't deliver on the goal. It looked like our defense was getting a crazy amount of stops. It's just apparently they weren't turnovers. I guess they just had to punt a ton. But either way, we got the win. It's fine. And then give us those sweet, juicy staff points, please and thank you. But let's see who we're going to be taking on in the divisional. Ooh, uh-oh. It's going to be the 14-3 Arizona Cardinals. Now, we do have the better team by a considerable amount. I mean, we're 3 overall better. I actually want to see, where does an 86 overall team rank in the league? I doubt it's the best, but it could be towards the top. Wait, why does the game show? I knew they fucked up the Lamar Jackson face. Like, I knew they messed up his face. They put the cornerback Lamar Jackson, but we just saw, like, the regular Lamar Jackson face. Why does it, like, alternate? That's really weird. But yeah, that's the cornerback Lamar Jackson that they somehow put for one of the best quarterbacks in the game. I don't know how you make that mistake as a multi-billion-dollar company, but that's what you expect from EA. But it looks like we might be tied for the best team in the NFL right now, at least in terms of overall. Yeah, we're tied for the best with the Seahawks. Apparently that doesn't mean anything because we went 9-8, but again, that's what you expect with a game made from EA. But with that, let's jump in here against the Cardinals and let's see if we can get a win. All right, well, here we go in the divisional against the Arizona Cardinals, still led by Cliff Kingsbury, which, you know, shouldn't be, maybe they shouldn't be 14-3 here, but it is what it is. Like, here's the thing. I wish if like offensive and defensive playbooks, if there's such a big impact on the game, they should be a big impact for teams that actually have good coaches. You know what I mean? Maybe like the Steelers, the Patriots, the 49ers, the Rams. Like, those playbooks should be good, but they still shouldn't have a massive effect. They should have like a decent effect. You know what I mean? Like, if playbooks are such a big thing, it should be the actual good teams with good coaches that have the good playbooks. Maybe that's just me, though. I don't know. But pointless ramble over. Well, not really pointless, but you know what I mean. Let's just simulate this game and let's see if we can somehow get a win. We score early 7-0, but the Cardinals do get a field goal. We score another touchdown. We're up 14-3. They do get a touchdown. We're up 14-10. Now we're up 21-10 with a touchdown heading into halftime. The Cardinals aren't doing much scoring here. We get a touchdown. We're up 28-10. They were driving, but it looked like they turned it over, and they do get a touchdown. We're up 28-23 in the fourth quarter, and we do get the win, taking down Cliff Kingsbury, CJ Stroud, Myles Garrett, and the Cardinals. So big win there. I feel like Bryce Young had back-to-back 269-yard games, which nice if that's the case, but it looks like CJ Stroud did low-key play better, at least in terms of stats. But hey, a win is a win. We'll take it. All right, well, in the conference championship, we're going to be taking on the 13-4 Dallas Cowboys. They're another one of those teams where it's kind of questionable if they should be as good as they are because they don't have a great roster here. I mean, it's pretty good at an 84 overall, but I wouldn't really call Mike McCarthy a great coach. I think he's pretty bad, in fact, but it is what it is. They have Max Crosby, Travis Kelce, Deontay Johnson, which is an interesting player to be in the top 3, but maybe he's done really well here. I don't know. I mean, he's a good player in real life, just drop issues. He could be amazing, but interesting to be in the top 3. But let's jump in here against the Cowboys, and let's see if we can somehow move on to the Super Bowl. All right, well, here we go in the conference championship. Home game for the Cowboys, of course. Is that where the Super Bowl is going to be in this season? If the Cowboys win, it might be a home game for them, so hopefully they don't. Hopefully we can get the win, but we'll see what happens. Let's jump to the end of the game. It looks like the Cowboys do score early, 3-0. They were driving, but they don't score. It looks like our offense just is kind of dead in this game. We do finally get a field goal, and we get the ball in our territory and get a touchdown, or their territory and get a touchdown. We're up 17-14 in the fourth quarter, though. Relatively low scoring game. game. They tie it up with the field goal, but we kick a field goal, and that's going to be enough as our defense has been amazing for the last few games. So we're going to move on to the Super Bowl. Russell Wilson was the quarterback for the Cowboys, apparently. And this has been a really good playoff run so far. But we'll see if we can cap it off with a ring. The first ever for the Minnesota Vikings, I believe. But let's see who we're going to be taking on in the Super Bowl. It's going to be the 11-6 Baltimore Ravens at an 83 overall. So we're going to be taking on the other purple and yellow team here. Purple and gold, I guess. But the Vikings aren't really gold. I guess it's like gold and yellow. Either way, it looks like the Ravens have Tyreek Hill, which that's a little scary. Also have Quentin Nelson, Josh Allen, the linebacker, Brandon Sheriff, Greg Newsome, Brandon Cooks. I mean, this is a good team. They have Justin Fields at QB. They don't really have a great running back, though. This is a good team, but it's not like an amazing team. Our team definitely looks better on paper, especially at the QB and running back position. But we have some upgrades before we jump in. Oh, yeah. Okay, I was confused for a second. So Bryce Young gets 4 upgrades from winning MVP. Oh my god. I was like, how the hell did he go up 4 from one game? But now up to a 94 overall, 97 with morale. At only 23 years old still. Justin Jefferson is going to be a pure 99 overall. Those are some insane stats. But we have a Super Bowl media day before we jump in here. I want to maybe start playing games in the future. I haven't played this game, like actual in a game, in a while. And even then I wasn't the best before. I mean, I could win games against people for sure, but I don't know all the like cheesy, oh, run this play and move this guy to this side and this guy here, like all the sweaty strategies and that kind of stuff. Like run Y stick and change the X receiver to a dig route or some shit. I don't know. But I definitely could try to play some games. We'll see. But this Super Bowl means everything. I mean, this is the last year of the rebuild. I was gonna maybe do another year if we didn't do well here, but I mean, we made it to the Super Bowl. Whether we win or not, we made it to the Super Bowl either way. So we'll jump in here. I low-key hate looking at that new picture of Tyreek Hill. He looks ugly there. That's mean. I'm sorry. But let's jump in against the Ravens and hopefully we can win this team a Super Bowl. Courtesy of Mikey McDingle, the GOAT. I don't think I've mentioned him at all in this rebuild. That's going to be confusing to people that have never watched me before. He's the custom head coach I make. Okay, it is in the Cowboys Stadium, so that's just extra fun that we took the Cowboys away from getting a home field advantage in the Super Bowl. But let's simulate this game out and let's see if we can take down the Ravens. They score effortlessly, 10-0. I kind of knew that was going to happen. We do get a touchdown, but they score. They're up 13-7. If our offense could do something, this wouldn't be so bad, but they're up 20-7. They're smoking us here. I don't think we have a chance anymore. Our offense just isn't getting it done. Well, we do score. We take the lead in the fourth quarter. They get a touchdown to make it 26-21, but we get a touchdown to make it 27-26, and we make a comeback and get the win, 30-26. You know, the Ravens made a really good Super Bowl comeback in the blackout one against the 49ers, but we have a better one here, maybe, in the final year getting a Super Bowl win, and now the rebuild is a success, as Bryce Young wins Super Bowl MVP, 220 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. That's such a pixely Vikings logo. Why does it look like that on there? Either way, we get a Super Bowl win, and that is a great way to cap off the rebuild. Wait, that's actually weird. In the Rams, fixing the Rams fantasy draft one, the team we took on in the Super Bowl was the Chargers, and both of those teams are blue and yellow. In this one, both of the teams in that Super Bowl with the Ravens and Vikings, both of them were purple and yellow. So maybe in the next one of these, if I just pick a team that has the same color scheme as another team, we'll face that team in the Super Bowl in the final year and beat them? Maybe that's the strat, I don't know. But of course, that's going to be the end of today's rebuild. This was a very fun one. I hope y'all enjoyed as much as I did. If you did, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you enjoy rebuilds, I mean, this is the place for you, so you might as well subscribe. Plus, it'll make you an OG for whatever that's worth. And let me know what team to do next down below. But again, I really hope you enjoyed. I've been loving making these lately. I'm glad y'all have been loving these even more than ever. So you best believe I'll keep making them. But here's one last look at the defense. Nothing amazing, but we did get a Super Bowl win, and we have tied for the best roster in the NFL, so I think that worked out pretty well. But that's going to be it for me. That's it for today's video. I hope to see you back next time. There should be some videos recommended on screen now. And with that, I'll see y'all again in the next video. Goodbye.